Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's live Q&A session with Mr. Chris Palmer and his can of Rockstar and some ropey bit of pizza that he's got in the background there. I think he's ate it all, though, or he would show you it. But, yeah, welcome to today's Q&A session. So, back as normal, doing the usual question and answers. Before we do any questions, please do give us a like on the video. And also do check out Mr. Chris Palmer on YouTube, and also check out odys.cc. You see the link below if you want £100 sign up bonus for aged or done for you affiliate websites. You can use that credit for either or and get yourself moving. But we have Dennis Reynolds, good to see you, and Mr. Craig Mullins. Looking good as always. I am. I've got to admit, I'm looking well. Thank you.
You are looking well. Skin looks clear. You do. Look like you've been drinking a lot of water. You look fresh.
Yeah. Looking well. I'm trying to remain a good boy.
Skin looks clear. Uh-oh.
Well, that was me. Don't worry about it. And Mrs. Holly Starks. Hope you're well, Holly. We missed you at the mastermind. I'm actually in Manchester at a mastermind today as well. So stuck in a hotel room for this. I'm going home after it. But yeah, good mastermind. We had it yesterday and today. Good to just catch up with the guys again as well after that lockdown. So that was good. And you can also see Chris Palmer's even in the chat as well. What a guy. Adam Poland. Nice glasses. But yeah, put your questions in the chat, guys, and let us know what you want to ask today, whether it's a very small question, whatever you want, ask away. We have BK SEO, good to see you back, and Mr. Richard Sachs, good to see you, Richard. But while we're waiting, some questions coming in, Chris, yes. Any update on the tool thing?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I've been just playing around with it. I mean, I guess it's ready, but I'm just playing around with it. I had quite a few signups, so I was really happy about that to see that there was interest there. I'm really just I don't know, testing it out, making sure it doesn't break.
Cool. Where am I
playing with it, man? I'm just playing around with it. I don't know. I'm probably gonna throw up a static page so I can start taking in people. Probably by the end of this week. I'll probably
I'm gonna need to shop, and I just need to see it in action, man. I like playing with tools and thoroughly enjoy it. So make sure my name's up there on that list.
Absolutely.
Akil Chatterjee, hello, Mr. Hogben.
I like the Bitmoji. It's cool.
Yeah, looks good. Let Holly use it and she'll see if she can break it for you. I'm pretty sure that won't take someone like Holly very long.
No, probably not. I think I don't think it would take her very long, no.
No. But yeah. BK SEO has a question for you. I can't run Android emulators on VPS. Issues with initializing OpenGL over RDP. GPU versus VPS computer has.
So 9 times out of 10, a VPS that you're probably buying doesn't have a GPU, right? So you're looking for a very select type of VPS solution. Generally what I found is the gaming. You're looking for I like gaming VPSs that are provided by OVH. That seems to be what I've set up on. You can also create cloud instances for running these types of setups. So hopefully that helps you out.
OVH Cloud is the place to go. I've got my VPS there. So check them out if you haven't been there before. But hopefully that helps you. I have absolutely no idea what the fuck a GPU is or initializing OpenGL, but yeah, it sounds like a plausible answer, Chris. So
Yeah.
go with that one. But nah, sorry, I can't really add any other value to that because I have no fucking clue.
You don't know what a GPU is?
No.
Keep going.
I'm serious. What the fuck?
Wow. I love you, Craig.
Hey, I'm just interested in a bit of SEO. I'm not some computer nerd that understands all this weird technical shit in the background, man. Like, yeah, that's not my thing, man. I like automation and stuff, but GPUs and all this other weird shit and emulators, that's out with my fucking brain cell capacity. Graphics processing unit. Yeah, I don't know. I just buy something.
Does it work? Yes or no? That's what you're concerned with.
All fuck all that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, BetMorge is the new today. Says Simon Hogbin. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I haven't used BitMorge, but I've used a cartoon head on my website and all that kind of stuff for many years, and yeah, why the hell not? I like it. So there you go. Connected.
Great minds, you know.
Yeah. Did you copy me?
Maybe.
I'm going to hold my hands up. I copied Matthew Woodward. He was the first one I seen do it. So, yeah. So Woodward was
exactly. That's funny to say that. That's exactly. Yeah.
I'm just like that looks cool and a bit different, and yeah. So there you go. But anyway, connected watches and Holly started saying, "Oh my God, Craig, Holly, I'm not fucking into computers as such. Like I like playing on them and shit, but when it blows up, like I throw it in the bin and just buy a new one. Like I don't know what GPU is, and I'm not into graphics cards and all this fucking weird shit. Like I'm shit at graphics and stuff. So as long as it runs my automation fast enough, I don't give a fuck."
So you never put together a computer before?
No.
That's wild. Maybe I guess I'm just a dork, dude. I don't know.
But here's the thing, right? So I'm 41 right now. See, when I was at school, when we were growing up as kids and all that shit, like I had a shitty Amstrad computer as a kid. I think the Mega Drive came out when I was like 14 or 15 or whatever. Wow. But the reason that I'm into SEO is because like dial-up connection came out when I was like 17, 18, and you're just like, fuck, what's this internet shit, man? Like, and I was just more interested in the internet rather than computers itself. So I didn't grow up with computers, and I'd probably put it down to that. Like if I was grown up 10 years later, then I might have had a bit more of an idea. But when I was at school, computers weren't really a fucking thing. Neither were mobile phones. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. I'm sounding old now. So enough of that. But anyway, Connected Watches official. Will you guys still buy the niche edits which do not have traffic but high domain authority? Do you buy niche edits with no traffic, Chris?
Have I? Of course.
And I still do. Continue to do that, yeah?
Yeah, I try not to. I try not to. But, I mean, if I could get my hands on a really good link, I mean, I'm not going to say that I never buy them. I'm, like, scrutinizing over every, but generally, at least the domain, I'm looking to have some type of traffic. A lot of times you're not going to get, niche edit. I have, yes, but sometimes, hey, you got to take what you can get at some points.
Yeah,
I have definitely.
But ones with traffic are better,
of course,
if you can get them. So there you go. And Paul Hogden's here, SEO Underground in October the 14th. Check out seounderground.co.uk. We're all going to be there. Holly Starks is going to be there, and several other speakers are going to be there. So if you want to come to a proper Black Hat event where people are talking good things, that's the place to go, SEO Underground. And if you want £50 off of the price of the ticket, the early bird ticket, you can use my name and then 50 after it, and you get an extra $50 off. So check it out. BKSEO is already using a head host currently.
A head host did at, when they first launched, when I used to use a head host. Actually, I still have some servers over there, but they no longer offer a gaming They don't have it. They don't have it anymore. So that's probably why you're running into issues.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Holly starts just laughing at me not knowing what a GP unit was. And BKSU doesn't even know what it is, and he's playing with all this stuff. So, yeah, I don't feel so bad now. Graphics card, Craig Mullins. I've heard of a graphics card.
Right.
But anyway, GuruKitty. Hey, Craig, your courses are not being delivered by Udemy. Honestly, they take the money and then say they have nothing, just giving you a heads up so that you may choose a better option. So I had this message a few days ago, and it's probably from yourself, GuruKitty. The people that have signed up, I've never had anyone have an issue with Udemy. Like, I'm not sure like, if your IP is blacklisted or there's some other kind of technical glitch, but the courses are being delivered to people. You know, I've even had douchebags saying the courses were crap. You know how you get that on Udemy, even though I think they're really good. So the courses are being delivered. I can't control. I can reach out to them, but and I have reached out to them when I got your email the other day. But the courses are working fine. I'm just not sure. You're the only person that I've heard with that issue, and there is no issue like as far as Udemy are concerned. So I'm not sure if it's, you know, a location thing or IP thing or something like that. But yeah, like let me know what they say. Send me a screenshot of what they're saying or whatever, and I can maybe forward it on to the person that my contact there and see. But you know, they can't take your money and give you nothing. That's the bottom line. You know, they can't do that. They've got to deliver the course for you. And as I say, I don't have access to their server or setup or anything. I just put my course there and people buy it and that's it. But show me a screenshot and I'll try and get to the bottom of it. You know, I need to see something though. I can't just say it's not working because they're saying it is, and that's that. So yeah, get in touch and show me a screenshot or whatever the problem might be. We'll try and get to the bottom of it.
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you still utilizing the other platform that you were implementing for your training programs?
Yeah, so I currently use Thinkific. You know, that's where I initially launched my courses. The only reason I've went for Udemy, and I'll give this away to you guys, the courses are the same. I've just uploaded them to get exposure on that platform, if you like. So the courses that I've given away for free are actually $20 on Udemy. So that's the lowest price that Udemy will allow me to charge. I cannot do anything less. Because you're using their hosting, they want to make money on the course. They literally take fucking 50% or something. I'm not sure whatever the percentage is. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm trying to get my courses out to a much wider audience. So that's all I'm doing the Udemy thing for, because there's a lot of people on there who won't know who I am, and I want them to see my course. So literally every course I've got is 20 quid on there. And I think they're always doing deals. Like they can randomly do like a 6-hour discount or whatever, and you can get it half price or whatever. But that's down to them, not me. I don't have any control over the discounts or anything. But obviously they're going to take the host it. But the problem I've got is like one of my courses is 4.5 hours worth of content. And you can give a course away for free on Udemy if the course is under 2 hours long. But because it's over 2 hours long, the minimum price I can charge is $20. So there's just a little tip for anyone that's trying to go on there. You can get them for free on my YouTube or whatever, so or on my website. So if you want to pay 20 quid on Udemy, by all means go there. Yeah, I just wanted exposure to an audience who don't know me, don't come on my YouTube channel. For all you guys, I don't want you to go to Udemy and pay for it, because I would have happily gave you them all for free. Udemy, and I was going to give them away for free in Udemy as well, but sadly they don't. They want to make money, and that's their business model.
Do you get the emails?
Yeah.
And you get all the, and I noticed too, Udemy has very good rankings.
Yeah.
For specific keywords. They show up for pretty much anything related to That's awesome.
That's another reason why I wanted to play around with it, just to fuck around with that stuff. So, but for you guys, go down the normal route. Don't go to there and pay for it. But for the Udemy audience who don't know who I am, buy it up. So there you go. How was my COVID shot? It was all good, Holly. I felt a little bit groggy for a couple of days, but nothing too bad. Yeah, it was all right. I'm feeling refreshed now, but it felt like a dead arm. And then I felt a bit groggy, a bit tired, but that was it. But there you go. Have you had yours yet, Chris?
No.
The COVID shot? Nah.
No thanks.
Oh yeah, you're not into it. So yeah, last Wednesday I got it after the last week's show. I had to go and get it. So it was fun, but yeah, all done and dusted. Great to see you, Dirk. Dirk's asking, any drop catchers on LinkedIn or forums to follow? So you've got Callan. Callan, I don't even know how to say his second name. Just look for Callan K. His website is SEO. Wait a minute. SEO.domains. Yeah, SEO.domains. Callan's a drop catcher. There's another guy called Matt Tricott. You'll be able to find him on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. Those are the two main ones that I know of, but there's loads of them. But they're the two kind of main ones that a lot of people will know. So there you go. SEO Underground, Paul Hogden saying that's no excuse. I'm 87 and I've built computers. Yeah, you're doing it all wrong though, Paul. I just pay someone to build computers for me. Delegation's the key part of my business model. So there you go. I've fried a lot of PCs. I'm not good at putting them together. I always fry the motherboards. I can imagine, Holly, you've fried motherboards, phones, like shit just melts when Holly gets her.
Yeah, those little wires are such a, like plugging them in. You're like, and you got to get them just right. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt.
So there we go. Spectrum ZX. I was an Amstrad CPC 464 guy. And I think I had a Commodore 64 at some point as well. But
I still sell those. Yeah.
Well, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they still move, man. They're like $25-$35.
What? $25 for a Commodore?
Yep. And then if I have it in the box with like the manuals and it's still fresh, which it happens a lot, that's like $100 bill.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You find them all the time. You're like going through people have these estate sales and I like walking through and they have them. They always have those. They make fish bowls out of those old Macs, right? They'll make fish containers. So I buy those. Those do even better, $250 usually. I like old junk, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah. GuruKitty, do you think the concept of domain authority is overrated?
I don't know about overrated. I think that a lot of people put a lot of faith into these metrics that and really just analyzing and taking a look at anchor text and referring domains, you can come up with your own conclusions. So I think just metrics in general are probably overrated, not necessarily singling out Moz.
Yeah. Don't use it for your only thing. They're good as an indicator and still very useful to use, but
definitely
don't become obsessed with them.
That's right.
Theod, hello, gentlemen. Good to see you, mates. Terry Power, it is a great excuse to come to the UK, Terry. Get your ass over here for a few beers. Yeah, it should be a good one. And a kind of 300 crowd is the maximum, so it's not going to be one of those crazy ass big ones. It's going to be very like NFG Rockstars, which is it's probably.
It's going to be a small, concise group. Should be very eventful and fun. I guess we can continue to answer questions here. I see Mark's here and Simon. Hey, guys. We're going to keep going down the list here. Let me see where we were at. So Theod says, I will potentially be taking on a client who wants to target the erectile dysfunction market Any advice or experience in that field? I personally have never worked in that field. So unfortunately, I can't necessarily touch on that particular basis, but I'm sure it's going to be very high competition for you. That I could assume. Simon Hogbin says, Udemy worked for me. Okay. That's awesome. Sounds perfect. Theod, we're just going down the list here. It seems like a lot of the top positions on the SERPs are held by high authority health sites. Right. That's what I figured. And you're going to find that. I mean, we're talking about massive brands. There's probably very high margin to be had. Maybe a subset of these things would be more helpful. Your very long form informational based content. But I'm not sure how affiliate programs work in that particular field. So I'm not sure the play there. And I don't want to lead you down the wrong path, Theo. But we'll move down to Shashi. Shashi, good to see you. Great to have you on. He's asking, do you feel bad for outranking your competitor? I feel bad sometimes. Like, what if? Well, Shashi, so, please note, don't. Hey, Craig.
Fucking hotel internet, man. Sorry.
I just kept working down there. I was at Shashi. He was talking about feeling bad for outranking a competitor. And I was on the verge of saying that, ranking and SEO is a competitive sport, right? So you shouldn't feel bad. I mean, you're competing. It's just instead of competing, we're competing for money and rankings, and the glory. So no, I don't feel bad. I think it's part of it. It's fun. That's the best part.
And yeah, that's like comparing like basketball or football or whatever. Your job is to go out and beat the competition, and it's a healthy thing that keeps us all on our toes and shit like that. So yeah, I am a massive fan of competition, even if it is Chris Palmer trying to beat me for CTR manipulation or whatever. It's all good, healthy fun. If you had no competition, I think I'd get quite bored, if I'm being honest. So there you go. In fact, so some of the questions have gone for me because I've just logged back in, but I know that Theo was asking about the erectile dysfunction niche. And obviously, Chris, you've got a lot of experience with that. So I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I've worked in that niche, ED. Also, there's loads of different terms that work well. That used to be Viagra was the main search term, but the actual ingredient that's in Viagra is called something else. It starts with an S, like Silas or some shit, and that's very well searched for, and it's massive, absolutely massive. The search for it is outrageous, and there's a lot of money to be made in that industry. Along with, the person that I done it for was like a online pharmacy, and they had that hair loss tablets and all sorts of weird and wonderful things, but erectile dysfunction was probably the best selling product for that online pharmacy. So definitely something you should get involved in. Competitive space, but anything competitive, there's always money on the table there as well. So yeah, and as Simon White says, GMB stuff works good if you're trying to get the localized stuff and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's the one that James Moore says. Sidfidel or Sildenafil or some shit. It's something along those lines. Can't remember the name off the top of my head because I've never used it. But obviously, Chris has. Is it Sildenafil or Sidfidel? It's one or the other, isn't it, Chris?
I don't know. I don't know.
Awkward Holly, yes. Nearly as awkward as that time Holly released one of her niches was hemorrhoids. It was, yeah, I've got a question for you guys actually in the audience. What is the most awkward niche you've ever done SEO for or worked in? Because obviously Holly said she's done the hemorrhoid thing, erectile dysfunction can be quite a bit of a, awkward one depending on who you are. But I was actually speaking to a guy, and I'm not going to name this person, but there was a guy, and I don't know if he's winding me up or not, but I think he was deadly serious, that was selling cats to Chinese shops so they could cook them. So that isn't a joke. I don't think that guy was kidding. Peeing in public, I think, is the most awkward. So Holly, what the fuck? How can you work in that niche, peeing in the public? Like, what is that? Is that like some fetish or something like that? I don't know, man. Let me know.
This stream's derailing quickly.
Mr. Moneyman, Extreme Turkey Racing. Also, thank you very much for your kind donation. You know what they say about SEOs with big rankings, big wallets. That's about it. But yeah, I'm going to go back to the questions. Yaniv, where does the power from a guest post comes from? If there's a definition, a new page with no links, is it just from the internal linking and therefore worth it?
So you're getting a guest post, so a post on an internal page that you're hoping has a good internal linking structure going to that page. And the overall authority from that website has good internal linking going to the page that's outlinking to your website. So you're onto the right track. You're absolutely looking to make sure that internal linking structure is good. But aside from that, it's anchor text, referring domains. What's the authority of that site? Is there any traffic going to that page? And the list goes on. But I think you're on the right track there. Also,
just another little tip, Yaniv. People that buy guest posts tend to power those guest posts up with niche edits and Web 2.0s and stuff. So give it some juice yourself, is what a lot of people are doing. They don't normally tell you that stuff, but yeah, power that up.
And to another key element to look at, I released this. I gave this tip in a video. If you're thinking about buying a guest post, how often, when was the last cache? How often is that page or how often is that website getting cached? How often is it getting crawled? That's definitely a powerful factor to know how often it's getting crawled.
Yeah. Makes sense. Theo is saying in the erectile dysfunction niche, the competition's a bit limp. And yeah, he apologised for it after it, so it was a pretty lame joke. Theo, need to work on that. All-purpose work. Listen, I get cut off, so I haven't actually seen your question about Flip It. If you can repost it, that would be very much appreciated. Anyone else, if you've posted something before 25 minutes past 5, then I'm not going to be able to access that. So apologies for that. If you can please repost your question. Dan Randall, what quality should a domain have in order to sell it at an auction? What are you looking for in a domain that you're looking to buy in an auction, Chris?
Auction, I'm looking for age, relevance first to whatever I'm trying to do, obviously. Good brandable name, non-branded anchor text, a lot of referring domains. I would hope that it hasn't dropped. It has some good traffic coming to it. A lot of index pages, high cache rate. That's what I'd be looking for.
Pretty much all of that is what I'd be looking for as well. So, yeah, nothing else you can really add to that at all. He's pretty much looked at all the important things. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just make sure it's not been shit or, someone spammed it to fucking death, basically, and give yourself half a chance at buying a domain that actually is going to do something. I just want to know, Simon, why your wife had to write that content. Just curious. Say nothing, not making any accusations, but hello, Rich Devman. Hope you're well. CBD Flowers UK. Hi, Charlie and Mrs. Campbell. Charlie, do you want to come and say hello to people?
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, come here to wave. Come here. Aye, shy.
What do you
he
call
doesn't
those? What are those called? When we see him and he has the boots on, but they're not boots. They're called what are they called?
welly boots. Welly
The wellies.
boots. Yeah. Wellies.
Yeah. I want to see the wellies. I love that, dude. That's awesome.
Jared Abbott has also done work in hemorrhoids. I bet you have. Working on a client that makes dog food from insects. Not too awkward, but it's a first for me. I've not heard of that. In fact, I never told my story. I also had a customer who was into tantric massage. Well, they gave tantric massage. And when he messaged me, I just assumed tantric massage was like, just some weird like Swedish massage and stuff until I actually Googled it. And I'm like, whoa, like I've just had a full on conversation with this woman. Like, that tantric massage
just went up.
Me. Yeah, I just felt a bit creeped out, just dirty. So, yeah. Mr. Moneyman has peed on a cat. So Chase,
Moneyman,
is that Chase has peed on a cat? I could believe that Chase Rayner has peed on a cat. Yeah, I'm having that. I'm accepting that as the truth. Sorry for another rumor about you, Chase, but meow. Glory holes in Amsterdam. 18,100 searches a month. YouTube is full of hilarious videos. Holly, right. This is another question for you, Holly. How the fuck would you monetize something like that? Just AdSense, or am I missing out on something else? Like, what? How would you monetize that shit? It's got to just be AdSense, right? Yeah, it's got to be. Terry Power cremation. That's a thing. So yeah, I can have that. Not that weird. Wasn't SEO, but I worked on a escort website that was pretty cringy to work on. Learned a lot of new words though. I can imagine.
Yeah, I had that experience. It's an interesting niche.
Can we use cheap PBN hosting like bulk buy hosting? So I personally haven't used that company. I use someone called Sleeker. I'll give you a link in a second. Sleeker host. Now I'll explain why I use Sleeker host. Jesus. I mean, Seeker host, not Sleeker. Seekerhost.com or .co.uk. They've got both. And I'll just put it in the chat here. These guys are good for PBNs because they allow you to, they're a proper PBN. They're a proper hosting company that understands the value of PBNs, assign different IP addresses and stuff like that. So these guys are worth checking out for sure when it comes to PBN hosting. I'm not saying they're the only people in the world, but I've not used the one that you mentioned. I have used many over the years, and a lot of them have been absolute garbage. I think, what was it called? Easy Blog Networks and stuff like that.
When you block members on YouTube, have you noticed that it takes the thumbs down away?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was so I was just thinking to myself, I went to go see the video because this is going a fun route, right? And I saw that somebody downed it, and I was thinking to myself, man, hey, that would be a good way to weed out and figure out, because I did it the other day and I noticed that it took away some of the downs. So it was kind of interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know why that popped in my mind. Oh, because I was looking at the thumbs down. I was thinking, who the heck would do that to us?
Yeah. If you've not already, can you please give us a thumbs up? But Rich Devman, thank you very much. Do you guys ever use AdSense to monetize, or do you just stick with affiliates? Very common question. I think AdSense slows down a website and potentially irritates the life out of people. So I don't personally use it on affiliate websites, but Chris, what is your take on that?
I like it I use it depending on the site. So I still do. It depends on the site. Depends on the volume of traffic, depends on the page. On older posts that are still getting a little bit of traffic, but they're not really that high converting, it's not that big of a keyword, yeah, I'll throw it on
there. Dan Jones, Surround X,
Is that false, Holly?
Yeah, false on Polly peas on cats.
Oh no, I because I was kind of asking too. Does that take away the thumbs down? Because I would be.
Oh yeah.
Because I seem to notice. I think it does. I could be completely wrong, but I just noticed on some of the videos, like I'd be curious to have her opinion.
Let us know, Holly.
Different.
Surround X is asking, what are some key skills you need to learn to move beyond the beginner level at SEO?
So I think mastering technical first, technical and just basic on page, will get you a very long way. You know, I think really, you know, analyzing and figuring out on page and making sure that the site is running fast will get you leagues above almost pretty much anybody, you know. So, you know, I think that really conquering the on page, knowing how a site functions, making sure it's fast, you know, to limit the amount of stuff I'm going to say, you know, make sure it's fast, all the technical aspects, and master the on page. I think that'll get you into the bracket of intermediate club. Definitely.
I think what I'd also say is a lot of people assume that, you know, these kind of gurus or big SEOs or whatever they're doing mad secret stuff, and they're not. The biggest secret or biggest thing I can tell you is there is no massive secret. It's all about taking action, trying shit out, and just doing some work. I think a lot of people overcomplicate things, over audit websites, and overthink, you know, site speed and all that, and they're not focusing on doing what is really important, and that's, you know, content links. Of course, your website has to be fast. Of course, the user experience and all that stuff's going to help. But, you know, people then start going full-on obsessive about site speed and go, yeah, my website loads in 1.2 seconds, but I've spent 3 months and I've got it down to 0.9 now. Why would you spend 3 months doing that? I have no idea. Is that going to move the needle? I don't think so. So I think, you know, there is no, I mean, obviously people have got little bits of secret sauce and all that stuff. It's not as easy as I'm maybe making out, but it's not as hard as many other people make out. And I think you've just got to throw shit out there and see what happens, and just test shit out and blow shit up, and that will put you up there. I think by simply just taking action and doing a bit, you will be doing a lot more than 90% of other people, because people are lazy by nature. So even just hitting, you know, using an aggressive content strategy will probably take you a long way. So that would be my advice. You've got to think big. There's different levels to this shit. You know, what are you considering beginner level SEO? Obviously, I don't know you as a person, but, you know, I speak to guys and they're still doing SEO at, you know, $200-300 a month, and you're like, man, like, there's people I know that throw leads like that in the bin. So there's different levels, and you've just got to think big, and there are people making a lot of money on there, and you just got to open your mind up and see where the hell you end up, and hopefully you end up at that kind of intermediate or advanced level sooner rather than later. But all-purpose work is a very generic question, but Chris, have you any tips for selling a website at a huge profit on Flipper?
I mean, hey, as long as you can show successful, if you want a huge profit, then you need to show a good recurring basis of payments for the site. So you're going to get whatever the multiple is, X times the 6 months or the past year. So if you want to sell for a huge number, then get it to a large number, and then you'll be able to sell it for a multiple. But if you're at that point, maybe I wouldn't go for Flippa. Flip is more aimed at, I think it's more for like starter sites. Hey, we put up a nice template. We have the logos. It's getting a little bit of traffic. Here's a starter site. You know, if you're looking for profit, I might go over to like maybe Empire Flippers or something along those lines.
I think you also, you know, if you want to sell a website at a huge profit, it doesn't matter. You've just got to be able to have the ability to do the basics right and then scale it. It's all about that and your processes and everything else. Anyone can do it if they spend the time, the money, and the effort onto doing it. So there is no tip to getting a website up there. Getting a website is probably really hard for me to grow a website from nothing to maybe 1.5, 2K a month. After that, it's relatively easy. It's just rinse and repeat. You've got the model that works, and it's just a case of adding more content, more keywords, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I think at the start it is, that's the hardest part of it. And if you can master that part, you can easily scale. So yeah, there's no other crazy tips. There's no science to it. Well, kind of there is science to it, but yeah, it's all about what you invest in it as well. So yeah, you've sometimes just got to hit the ground running hard with a website. So there you go. Connected Watches Official wants to know how you find good niche edits. Where do you find your niche edits, Chris? Or do you create your own? Or
I use a vendor, so I don't, I let someone else do it. So you can find them just like everybody else finds particular services. However, once you build a relationship, a lot of these guys that are offering services in wide open marketplaces have a lot of other services available. So, I think sampling, see who has got the best quality, and then reaching out or trying to see, hey, what do you have that's maybe not flooded or inundated with, the mass public. I think you will find what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's quite easy.
For selling.
Network, ask around, even look at places like Black Hat World, test gigs out and all that kind of stuff. As Chris says, don't go all out and spend thousands of pounds with someone you've never met, and try it out and get a sample of what's going on. And then once you find the right person,
always.
Go for it.
Price does not depict performance. Just because somebody's got something cheap, it's worth a try. I've found a lot of little gems. Not always, though. I've been ripped off a lot of times too. Don't get me wrong. So,
does the speed of a page affect SEO rankings, Chris?
Does speed of the page only if you're slower than the top performing guys? So if your speed's loading in 8 seconds and the top guy's loading in 1, yeah, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hinder your ability to rank because that's not what Google's rewarding.
Yeah,
so that's the only way.
Yaniv is asking, have you guys heard of Blackwood Productions, a link building platform? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Personally, I've not. Have you heard of it, Chris?
Yeah. That's interesting. You haven't, because that's Mike and Brad. That's their. I think they have a.
Is that what they're calling themselves?
Yeah.
So. The problem I've got, obviously I know Mike and Brad, and I do know they offer that. I didn't know that was their
like the brand,
the name. I just know them as Brad and Mike. And
right.
Same with a lot of people in the industry. Like people might, I couldn't even tell you what Holly Starks calls her business. I just know it as Holly Starks or Chris Palmer and stuff like that. So I normally associate with these people like in a one-to-one level, or Randy Roday there, or Paul Hogden. If I need something, Randy, I need this, I need that. I couldn't even tell you. Well, I kind of do. I think Randy's called 38 Digital Marketing or something. But most people, I don't know their fucking business names. So are these guys? Do these guys know what they're doing and offer a good service? Personally, I know that these guys are very, very good guys and all that kind of stuff. And I also know my good friend Gary Wilson, who owns Get Me Rankings, did work with these guys as part of his service. So, and there was success there. So 100%, I can't really say any more than that. But as I say, didn't know them as Blackwood Productions, but these guys are very knowledgeable and know their shit. And it's
there's
something I would be looking at if I needed that kind of.
There's a couple of guys in my group that were utilizing the tool set, and they really like it. I believe that, they like it. I think Holly might be dabbling with it too. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet, but
I've not personally tried it. In case people go, oh, he's going to say that. I've got a link building company. I've got people in house who build my links and stuff like that. So, that's why I've never bought. I wouldn't buy from someone if I have that service myself. But I'm not the best person to say, I have 100% tried it. I do know Gary used them and probably still does. I can vouch for the guys. They are very, very knowledgeable. So at least try them out, give them a go, and that's all you can do. So there you go. A whole host of other things. So R&A operations. Hey guys, does entity matter? Is it worth studying and working on them? What do you think, Chris?
I think that's an interesting question. I don't know if you could study them per se or work on them per se, but I can say this. I think once you can associate yourself with a keyword, right? I think that could have dramatic effects on your rankings. So I take that for what it is. That's something I've been playing with myself. So I don't know how to explain that to you, but yes and no. Yes.
I would say I've played around a lot with it as well, for a number of different reasons. And, obviously years ago, the EAT update came out in the medic niche. Now I do think Google is looking at entities to corroborate information together. And I think moving forward, these things are going to get more and more important now. Obviously, when you're looking, people say, like, I'm trying to build up expertise, authority, and trust for me to try and trigger the knowledge panel, try to do this, try to do that. Now, if Google can join the dots between these entities and you, I thoroughly believe that will give you a massive boost, because Google have got a better understanding that you're a real person, a real trustworthy person, a person that is an authority in a particular niche. And I think long-term goal is to work towards that for any business. And I think that's only going to increase going forward. I think we see a lot of affiliate websites in the last update and stuff getting slammed. And I think a big part of that is because it was overly sales copy that was on the website. So it was just the best this, the best that, the best this. There was no persona behind it, no nothing, no trust, jack shit. There was garbage. There was no informational pages. And I think that's what, that penalty was about. And I can see more of that. The same, Google have got to flush the shit off the internet. And if that means flushing out websites that have no credibility, no trust, no entities, no... I think that's what will eventually happen. So I think it's definitely worth understanding what they are, the best ones to use, and start working on them 100%. I am, and I played around with them a lot, and I still don't know the right answer. Obviously Crunchbase is a great one to have, and there's several others, Wikidata and stuff like that. But yeah, it's worth understanding. I've got a friend, Jason Bernard, who pulls, it's got a tool. I don't know if it's actually out yet or not, but he compares all of the kind of top people in an industry and looks at all the entities they have. So if it comes up saying you need to be on here, because this SEO guy's on there, then that's what I'm going to follow, because it's basically telling me that I need to get Crunchbase, I need to get this, I need to get that, I need to get that, in order to be able to trigger that knowledge panel and everything else. So I think, I'm not sure what you can do to study it. There's tools like that tool I just said that can tell you, basically guide you to what you need to do. So definitely, I think it's a powerful thing.
We're going to have to chat. I got something for you, Craig.
Cool. Cool. Also, Dan Randall, I haven't skipped your question. I have not seen it. I did get cut off halfway through and probably missed it, but if you can put it below, we will answer it. So apologies for that. Lock-in. Do PBNs have to come from the same niche as the money website, Chris?
If you're buying a PBN link, right? Of course, I get to control the anchor. I get to control the flow. I get to control where it goes. Of course, I want it to be from the same niche. Heck yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Holly is in the chat, so I'll let Holly answer that one. RS R&A, operations. I'm taking over casino website. What do you think I should do? We don't see the website, so it's hard for us to just say, here is what you do, without seeing the problems. Run an audit, check the content,
get a bank loan,
profile. There's so many different things you've got to go and do. You've got to just analyze shit and see where it lands. And it might be weak in content, it might be weak in links, it might be garbage at technical, there might be no internal links. There's a whole bunch of things that you could do, but without seeing it, we can't really advise you on the best course of action. And obviously we can't really analyze websites on here because there's not enough time, but an audit is probably the best place to start. If I'm starting on a website I don't know, then I'm going to run an audit on it, and whether that's site speed, content audit, or just a generic technical audit, I'm probably going to do all of that because I want to see where the weaknesses are and start to plug those weaknesses before I start loading up with content links and everything else. So an audit is the best place to start, man.
Competitive audit, surely.
What would be your advice, Chris?
Well, I think those two things. I think that competitive analysis first. Who's winning, what are they doing, where are you at compared to them, and then more notably, in this particular niche, I would be concerned with the budget. Like if you mean taking over, like it's going to be yours or for a client, then I would venture to guess that the budget needs to be in proper order.
Interesting.
Big time. Because if that's anything like, yes.
So that's Holly's answer to your question. Whoever was asking Holly's question, I'm sure you read it though. Anyone recommends AdThrive? Do you? I've not used it personally, but you, Chris?
No, I don't use it. No.
Anyone in the audience recommend AdThrive? Let us know in the chat and help Stud Muffin. Sorry, I've not particularly used that one. Unable to help. But guys, we do have 8 minutes left. If I've missed a question that you've asked, please do put it in the chat. Also, give us a like on the video. But going back to the Holly thing and peeing in the public and all that stuff, for peeing in public, lawyers take those calls. So if someone gets in trouble, right, fair enough. It's a huge niche area in places like Chicago, San Francisco, and LA.
I could see that.
I even gave that a thought. I just thought there was some kind of sick fetish, like people were peeing on each other or something. Maybe I've got a what mind. You never thought it was for lawyers, did you, Chris?
Not at all. No. I was thinking all kinds of distasteful,
weird shit. Jesus. So we'll try and beast through these questions. We do have a lot. Do links to informational content on a website help elevate commercial pages? I don't know how to build links with PBNs to commercial pages on a local site in a way that doesn't look weird. Yeah,
I think. Well, I know. So you're probably, if this is a commercial site, you have your commercial based intent keywords. I'm assuming, right? You have your high volume, high intent types of keywords that are high converting. And then to support that, I'm assuming you're probably building informational content in order to support the sale. So you're probably setting a silo of sorts or a cluster of sorts, and you want to know what types of links to build in. You should be building links to those supporting pieces of content. But the most powerful links need to go to the commercial intent. And then as far as PBNs to commercial pages on a local site, your most powerful links go to the top, and then you have your supporting content. I mean, there's not really much to add there. Do you have anything else to add on that, Craig?
Oh, sorry, I was just talking to the wife there. But I think what you said makes a lot of sense. But I think a lot of people, it's the internal linking to pass the juice around about your website is where this is going to be important. So you've got the ability to build links to pages and then, push that juice around your website. So don't overthink it. It is what it is. And, if you've got a really powerful commercial page, then you can use the internal linking structure on your website to make sure that Google passes the juice and the power and everything else to that commercial page, regardless of what other strategy you're using. So there you
That's
go.
good advice for everything. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. Theo loves Holly's creativity. Chase is asking, if the lawyers get peed on, do they still take the cases? I'll let Holly answer that. I'm thinking about this niche, prostate milking. I do not even want to know, Randy. Holly will test the thumbs down thing this week and let you know.
Yeah, I've been like not secluding testing it, like just randomly, like, okay, this video's got 4. I go in and I shut off a couple people and I'm like, okay, it's changed. But was that me or did that happen naturally? So I don't know. Hello, champs. Hello, nature videos. I guess he might have got cut off. I think he's in a hotel, so it's.
I am back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a hotel though, but the internet is ropey, so apology, guys. R&A operations. Should I 301 for casino niches? It's fast as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, if you have relevant domains, you can, but I would make sure that those sites that you're going to 301 actually have some value. First before sending it.
It doesn't matter what niche it's in. You've still got to follow the right process, and building a website out, powering it up, and then doing a 301 isn't a bad thing, but still follow the process. So there you go. Do you know anyone that does offline marketing to help online?
Yes, absolutely. Mailers. Yes. Yeah. And I don't, they probably don't even realize that it's helping online, but yes, I do. So like direct mailers. I've even seen newspaper inserts boost at least temporarily, like Sunday inserts are very, very helpful. So yeah, usually mailers though is what they do. So it does help, definitely, 100%. You're driving traffic and clicks, brand searches. It's just like a rush. When you drop 50,000 pieces of mail in a city, and the site gets a rush, you get a boost. Yeah, so it's almost a secondary thing. They're not aiming for the web. It just happens, which is interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. So Yaniv, can niche edits replace guest posts as they don't need powering up, as they should already have links? I feel aggrieved that paying money for guest posts that I then need to boost.
Well, it's not that you need to. It's just part of the process as far as a guest post is concerned. Like you want to for your own benefit. Maybe you don't have to because there's still authority there. With that being said, a niche edit is really great to have because there's traffic, there's value there. But you would still send links to it if you wanted to. And then aside from that, you need to be careful when buying niche edits because the niche edits in a lot of marketplaces are more along the lines of SAPE type links. So just be cautious of what you're buying and where the links are being placed.
A guest post is a safer method. Yeah. But Jesus, sorry about Charlie as well. He's shouting and bawling. Dan Jones is saying he often does magazine ads to increase branded search. Pretty effective and they're cheap. Looking for any kind of paid ad, whether it's Quora, Facebook, magazines, or any of that other stuff. Mix it all up. Get traffic from everywhere and get your brand out there. So definitely. Not sure if you're winding us up or not, but are Bing SERPs currently better than Google?
That's to be, determined. I'm a Google fan. I'm sure there's a benefit for some that like Bing, but I'm a Google user, so.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Holly, for the donation. Stressful couple of weeks with the doggy, so it was nice to laugh. See you later, Holly.
Oh, it's fun. Bye, Holly.
Craig's to put another 50p in the meter. I'm just going back to the questions because right. Nature videos. It has a 4K word article, less than 3 months old. Got 2 keywords in page 1 for Canada and Australia. For US, 6 keywords stuck in page 2 for a few weeks now. Keyword difficulty is like 40 to 60 as per Ahrefs. I'm not sure if there's an addition to that. I'm not seeing anything else, but
yeah. So, in my opinion, without seeing it, is difficult. However, with that being said, if you're stuck on page 2, that means you have probably the on pages right. You might need to tune up a little bit more for the very particular intended keyword. You might have to get more variations on the page or co-occurring words. But with that said, page 2 sounds to me like links. So, I'd be looking and analyzing the top competitor and what's the distribution or the link gap.
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Do you have any courses, Chris, where you share your procedures for things like link building and give them to your team?
I do have SOPs on ClickUp, but they are not for sale. Maybe one day, maybe soon. I don't know. Some things I'm not selling that stuff, and I don't have a team. It's only me and my best friend and one VA.
And Mikael is asking, are you okay, Chris? You look tired.
Me? Tired?
Yeah.
No, I'm great. I feel absolutely phenomenal. I'm not tired at all. I don't get tired.
Dan Randall is asking, what qualities should the domain have in order to sell it at an auction? I'm pretty sure we did answer this, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, we answered that earlier on.
The best quality is a track record of quality sales over an extended period of time. You want top dollar? Be bringing in top dollar, and then you'll get a multiple on your money. That's the best metric.
So Glenart is saying we're loading 50 pictures into their GMB per week. Do you know any way we can label these pictures so that the user can see what the picture is? Put in alt text as well. We sell cruises and we want to see what ship the pic is.
Yeah, this is one of my strategies. I don't know if you got that from me, but the next piece that's good for indexation and association. And then make sure the file names are what they're going to be when you load them onto your website. Okay. And then I think you'll go a long way doing that. So you got the one step, make sure the file names are on point. I don't know about the users on GMB, but take those same images and then move them over and make sure you're utilizing the same exact keywords when you put them here. So hopefully that helps you.
Cool. And on the Adsense, the AdThrive thing, Jared Abbott is saying check them out. He would definitely check them out. So why not? Just got to try that thing out. Try stuff out for yourself. Jared's seen a benefit, and I'm pretty sure you can as well. But last question for today before we go from Yaniv. Can you guys recommend a good local website with good structure to learn from? So what's a great website with a great structure, Chris?
I'm not sure your industry, but I like Thrive Agency. I think they have a good structure. I think Orkin's got a good structure. I think Wayfair's got a great structure. Some of those probably might, Wayfair, if you really want to get crazy, it just depends. Those three are good role models.
Yeah, look at websites like that. I think they've spent so much time and effort testing and doing all that kind of stuff. I think it's always good to look to some of the big boys for that kind of inspiration. But on that note, we are finished up for today, guys. Thank you, Holly, Rich, Devman, and Chase for the donations. Guys, if you can give us a little like on here, it would be very much appreciated. Also, do check out Chris Palmer on his YouTube channel and delivering a lot of good content on there. So check him out, Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. But other than that, guys, we will catch you next week. And on that good website thing, Jared Abbott has just said U-Haul does it well too. So check them out. And we will catch you guys next week. So see you later.
Thank you. See you guys next week. See you, Craig.